Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm hopping on 120 Realm, the Gladiators Sanctum over on beta, and we kind of get to look around here in game. I'm so excited to share all of this stuff with you guys. If you guys are just looking, we can play level 120 PvP on the beta. First, I'm going to show you my talents, kind of my build, and show you why I'm excited about all of this stuff on the beta. And then I'm going to hop into some gameplay and kind of show you guys around over there as well. So first of all, there is a bunch of new gear, which I'm very excited about, that you can get in your helm, your shoulders, and your chest. If you shift right click, you have a bunch of options to go and spec into, and this is just within your gear. So I'm really excited about this. I'm mousing over all of these different options so you guys can kind of, pause the video and read them if you really want to look over every single option. But there's so many different options throughout all these pieces of gear. There's so many different combos that you can make. But right now, on beta, I've been using a set, guys, with triple cauterizing blink. So every time I shimmer, I get a heal, and I'm stacking that on my chest, my shoulders, and my helm. So I'm getting a triple heal every time I blink, and it definitely does a great job at topping me back off. So I'm a Frost Mage build where I have a ton of healing built into my blinks. However, you can build these however you want, and each piece of each chest has a different, set of traits that you can kind of build within. And if you guys don't really understand what you're looking at here, you have an outer ring right here that you can choose one of the 4 traits. Then you have an inner ring where you can choose one of 3 traits. Then you have a ring in between that where you can choose one of 2 traits. And then you have the center that increases the item level. And that's the same with all 3 of these pieces. So that's really cool. That adds a ton of customization into the game. It adds a ton of different options within the game. It makes it so that you can choose, do you want to build where you're kind of blinking for heals? Do you want to build where you're casting frost bolts for a ton of damage? Do you want to build where maybe your icy veins is going to one-shot harder than other people's? Do you want an execute build with this gut ripper talent? Like, there's so many different talents that you can choose from, and I'm so excited to mess around with them. So this is like Christmas morning, boys. I just have played all last night, and waking up this morning and making this video. So if I seem a little excited, that's why. So that's the first thing I'm excited for, is having all of that customization. Second thing that I'm very excited for is stat templates are removed, as far as I know. And when I enter arena, I have the same stats that I have out of arena, right? So right here, I have a build with 20% haste, 19% mastery, 14% crit, and 1% verse. Previously in Legion, stat templates were in place. So if you entered in a rated arena, you'd get just pre-made stat templates, and gear didn't matter, only item level mattered. Now, seemingly at least, when I enter arena, I have these same stats, right? I have these same stats, and they don't get messed around. So what I went ahead and did here on the beta is there's a bunch of gear vendors over here. If you guys haven't been on the beta yet, a bunch of gear vendors over there, and I picked out all the pieces of gear with the most haste, and I made kind of like a haste build, right? And that's the second thing I'm excited for, guys. Removal of stat templates allows that customization to come back. So if I want to play a build with more haste and get these counts off quicker, I can. If I want to play a build with more mastery and get really big glacial spikes, I can, right? There's different things that you can do with different types of builds, and I really, really love that that's coming back into the game. So there's that, right? Third thing I'm excited for, guys, is that trinkets are coming back in PvP. So I went ahead and picked out some OP trinkets from the vendor as well. This one gives me a 1500 intellect proc for 12 seconds, and this one is a 1600 intellect on use that decays over time on a 1 minute 30-second cooldown. So I'm very excited that trinkets are back. Once again, another level of customization, another level to kind of customize your character. We get those stat templates removed, so we have our stat customization back, and we have the chest, shoulders, and helm customization as well. So I'm really excited for all of these things coming out in the beta. I'm going to quickly go over my talents as well. This is the build I've been running with so far, and it's been kicking some booty, let me tell you. You run with Deep Shatter. If you guys didn't know, Deep Shatter got changed, so it doesn't remove your ability to gain Fingers of Frost. It doesn't remove your ability to do anything. It only increases Frostbolt damage on the frozen targets by 150%. So what I've been doing is going Deep Shatter with Ice Nova, which means, you have a water elemental once again. Deep Shatter with Ice Nova, so you can Frostbolt, Ice Nova, boom, that counts as Deep Shatter, huge burst. You can also Frostbolt Pet Nova, right? And then Ice Lance, boom, big burst. This allows you to Frostbolt Flurry, Ice Lance, boom, big burst. It allows you to Frostbolt, Blink, Normal Nova, big burst. It allows you to have so many burst options. It's wonderful. Just going with Shimmer and Candace Flow, Ebon Bolt here. Ring of Frost. I'm not going to go over an entire spec video because that's not what this is, but just quickly, Ring of Frost, Comet Storm, and Ray of Frost. And I've tried a little bit with Glacial. Doesn't seem like it hits quite hard enough. So this is kind of the build I'm going with. And as far as the PvP talents, if you guys haven't seen this yet, I'm playing with Trinkets. And for these 3 talents, I'm either playing with Priss Cloak or Concentrated Coolness in this first row. And then I'm playing with Deep Shatter and Temp Shield for the second 2. And you can change these depending on what you're fighting, you know, Dampen Magic, Kleptomania, etc. But this is kind of what I found very effective, at least in a lot of duel situations or a lot of 2v2 situations. But guys, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that you can customize your character again, kind of customize how you want to deal damage, customize your build. I'm excited that we have Arcane Intellect back here. I'm excited that we have D-Curse back. A lot of really cool abilities back, and then pairing it with cool things like Trinkets and these new Azerite armor traits kind of makes the game feel whole again, makes it feel very fun and exciting to play. So let's hop into some gameplay that kind of outlines how Mage is played in the new expansion. Alright guys, so the first game we're hopping into right here is actually a 1v2. I'm playing Frost Mage. We're fighting a Priest and a Feral Druid. My Monk, I think, is just going to run in and leave the game. Thanks to the boy Mick for letting me 1v2 here. I'm going to just make some food, start off invisible. I should be starting off invisible here in a second. I guess I actually don't even start off in invis, but I have that Arcane Intellect buff up, making sure I have a bunch of procs. And a lot of these traits here are from my Azerite traits. Once again, I'm playing with all of the gear that makes it so whenever I blink, I am being healed. I guess, side note, I should have mentioned this already. I'm playing a Dark Iron Dwarf, guys. Dark Iron Dwarf is one of the new races. And the new ratio gives me 1,000 intellect and an additional 300 intellect for each disease, curse, poison, bleed it removes, something like that. So it's very, very good. And I macroed that into my trinket as well, so I can burst very, very hard. Right off the bat, I get that Sheep on the Priest. We're doing some big bursts here over to the Feral. Break that Power Word Shield. Could have Dispel stole it, but throwing out a ton of damage onto him. Going for a Resheep here onto the Priest. Do manage to get the Resheep. Casting out that Ebon Bolt. Tons of damage. Feral does use his wall, and Priest is coming out of the Polymorphs here in a second. So it's like, you know, Feral's finally connecting. Priest is out of CCs. Casting that Penance. I do lock it. There's the second wall and the pain suppression coming out. But look at this, so much damage, so many icicles. I guess I didn't mention either that Mastery stacks quicker because it works off Flurry, not just Frost Bolts. You're getting icicles from your Flurries and you're getting icicles from your Frost Bolts. But anyway, I have 3 icicles right here. I have my Flurry proc and my 2 fingers. So much damage stacked up right now. Really, really excited to unleash the burst onto this guy. Unleashing quite a bit here. If we can get another Sheep onto this Priest, could probably just end the game, but we'll see if I can actually manage to land it or not. Here's that Ray of Frost. I got kicked in poly, so I can free cast that Ray of Frost, and it actually just kills the Feral right there. And then the 1v1 versus the Priest ain't no thing. We got that as the Frost Mage now because I can blink to heal. It's not like a duel currently in Legion where you would just lose to a Priest outright. Seems like you can actually hold your own versus a lot of healers. So that's pretty freaking awesome. The burst is very high. The customization is very high. Having a ton of fun with this. But we go ahead and boom, take the Priest out right there. And not right there, right here. And here's the damage breakdown if you guys want to take a look. So another thing I'm very excited about is dueling in the BFA beta, or just dueling in BFA when it actually comes out, because guys, duels are so much fun again with traits that can heal me, or with traits that, you know, can kind of customize each thing versus each class. So we were doing some Mage duels yesterday. Guys, if you didn't know this about me, my favorite part of World of Warcraft of all time is like dueling, world PvP, 1v2, stuff like that. I'm not a big 3v3 guy, even though I do play a lot of 3s and I've been rank 1 and stuff like that. Put all that aside, my true passion, I really love those duels. That's kind of where I started off in PvP. I like Battlegrounds too, stuff like that, but arenas I just do because the cool mounts and the cool titles, let's be honest. I really love dueling, and I used to duel hours and hours and hours and hours every day. But you can't really duel in Legion because of legendaries and kind of how the game works with stat templates and legendaries and trinkets. It just doesn't work, right? So you can't really duel in Legion. And the same thing in WoD. You couldn't really duel too much in WoD either, just because of the way class balance worked for Frost Mage. So I haven't been able to duel in 4 years, guys. 4 years I haven't been able to duel for. And boom, let's play this clip. We're having some really fun duels for the first time in 4 years against a guy named Vindy. He was on beta. He's playing Arcane Mage. He's actually doing very, very well as Arcane Mage. But quickly, every time, guys, we're blinking, we're reducing damage. Every time, or we're healing, rather, with that cauterizing blink. Every time we're blinking, we're getting Prismatic Cloak, which allows 50% less spell damage taken, right? So there's a lot of different things at play here coming in this duel with those blinks, with the ice barriers, with the prismatic shields, with the displacements, with everything that Arcane has to offer, everything that Frost has to offer. So these duels are actually going at a pretty fast pace, even though it might be like, wait, Mage versus Mage, why is this taking so long? That's why, right? Because we're healing so much and reducing so much damage through the blinks and reducing so much damage through the Prismatic Cloak and stuff like that. So that's kind of why the game isn't instantly over, but that's also why it's kind of fun, right? It's kind of a mind game of faking counter spells. It's kind of a mind game of line of sighting around here in Iron Forge. It's kind of a mind game of, you know, when to ice block, when to be using certain things, when to be using the shimmers, stuff like that. So the duel was actually so much fun. I was dueling this guy for hours yesterday, just over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And we had a lot of fun duels back and forth. I didn't win all of them. This guy was actually pretty good. This is one of the wins, though. Against this guy, of course, but he actually did take a lot of games as Arcane as well. And Arcane, by the way, if you guys are wondering, is looking quite good on the beta, at least in the duels. And I kind of mistakenly was saying that Arcane wasn't super good, and I think it was just because I was playing it more how Legion Arcane Mage is supposed to be played, and not really how Arcane is supposed to be played, right? So it's a lot different in BFA. You're casting Arcane Blast for your damage. You're not just spamming Arcane Explosion, right? All of the damage comes in different ways than it previously did in the last expansion. So that's kind of my mistake, but I'm definitely going to be testing out Arcane some more as I kind of get more comfortable and more familiar with the spec. But as you can see, it's very difficult to actually finish someone off here when they're blinking with those cauterizing heals, and they have all of these absorbs and all these damage reductions. But finally, I think we catch up to them and finish them off here. But that's what's so fun about this, is that the duels are actually duels again, instead of just like, oh, I killed you in one hit, or you know, this duel lasted 4 seconds, right? Like I like being able to actually duel someone and kind of have a back and forth kind of battle there. So these are tons of fun. And now we're going to hop into some double Mage 2v2. Wow, you guys are really getting all in this video. 1v2s, class breakdown, some Frost Mage duels. This video is going to be freaking awesome. But anyway, we're doing some Arcane Mage, Frost Mage. Since I was dueling this guy so many times, we decided to actually hop into some arenas. And we are fighting the Shaman Shadow Priest. And what we're going to do is open up with this Mass Invisibility, which allows us to free cast out of stealth. And I'm going to pop like Icy Veins. I'm going to pop my huge one-shot Trinket and Fireblood macro, and then maybe go with an Ebon Bolt into an Orb. I still have that Ray of Frost as well. Tons of different burst options, of course. But we're going to go ahead and do that right here out of stealth, and boom, Shaman's taking a ton of damage. He throws down that Spirit Link. Priest is getting very low. Priest is actually getting blown up by the Arcane Mage, and I'm still on that Shaman, channeling that Ray of Frost. Priest goes down right there, and then Shaman goes down a second later. So these games were so much fun. We were absolutely destroying people with this double Mage. Shaman and the Priest both died pretty much in the opener because we popped absolutely every offensive cooldown, and they couldn't really survive. So let's hop into another game. Alright guys, so here in this game, we're fighting a Disciplined Priest and a Warrior. Once again, we're playing the same thing. We're playing Arcane Mage, Frost Mage, and we're going to go with a similar opener here. So we're starting both Invisibility. That Mass Dispel actually comes out and gets us both out of stealth, or gets me out of stealth at least. So that was a little unfortunate, as we don't get quite the opener that we were looking to get, and a Warrior and Priest are doing a good job of kind of line of sighting and sitting around the pillar. So this was a little unfortunate for the start of our game here. We would love to, a game like last game every game where we get that perfect opener and we just get to win in the opener, but that's not always how it works, right? If the enemies are kind of doing a lot of counterplay, a lot of line of sight, things like that. So I'm having trouble just connecting to this Warrior because he's playing well around the pillars. Trying to get a sheep on this Priest. Looks like he deaths the first one. Trinkets out of that second one. So now the Priest is back on line of sight. Vindy's doing a good job of surviving, but this Warrior is eventually going to connect. That Ray of Frost actually gets spell reflected, so I have to stop channeling it there. Tons of damage connecting onto the Warrior. He charges to me. I still have blinks available, my ice block, so it looks like he's going to go back onto the Arcane Mage. The Pain Suppression comes out. Looks like we can kill him soon here, but Vindy's in a lot of trouble, and he actually does go down. So at this point, it is a 1v2 situation. Through the full sheep out on the Priest, he has no trinket. This Warrior is getting a little too excited, and he actually does go down. So that was a pretty nice finish there, and that's just the burst of Frost Mage. You leave a Frost Mage alone to cast, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Same thing with Arcane Mage. If you leave an Arcane Mage alone to cast, you're going to be taking a lot of damage as well. So that's why it's kind of fun to be playing on the beta right now. Because currently in Legion, if you leave a Frost Mage to cast, you know, not too much is going to happen. But on the beta, tons of damage is going to come in if you leave them alone, right? Which really values cross EC, stuff like mind control or fear, to really like control the enemies, control your opponent, stuff like that. So I'm having a ton of fun. This is just a 1v1 against a priest, guys, so I'm going to kind of fast forward a little bit through the rest of this game. This guy was being a little stubborn. He's probably a little upset that we got that warrior kill right after my mage went down, but he decided to stay for another minute or so, but once we got some cooldowns back and got a nice big setup onto him, we were able to take him out, I do believe. And kind of the thing that gets me excited, guys, is that I can 1v1 healers like this as well because I have that cauterizing blink. I can heal, I can sustain myself, which means I can duel once again, right? Cauterizing blink, I can't stress enough, is kind of a big deal for mage dueling, right? Without that, you can't really duel. With that, all of a sudden, you become a dueling class once again. You can survive in world PvP once again. You can take on people in 1v1s once again instead of just instantly dying to every single class you see, as it was in Legion and in WoD for Frost Mages, right? So I'm super excited for Frost. Does this mean I'll be playing Frost again instead of Arcane? Probably, but I will be playing Arcane as well, kind of testing it out. I might be playing a little bit of both, but Frost definitely has me very, very excited. Guys, if you enjoyed this awesome video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I'm so excited for all the stuff to come in the BFA beta, so slam that thumbs up button. Guys, thumb this video down if you did not like it. Talk to me in the comments about what you want to see on the BFA beta. Definitely want to look at Shadow Priest, Disc Priest, Sub Rogue, and yeah, that's pretty much it, because those are the classes that I play. But let me know what you guys want to see down below in the comments, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next upload. Peace.